Okay, so you're gonna start with your feet out in front of you. Go ahead and grab one of your feet and lift it up. Reach your arm across into the back and really straighten that leg. You can point or flex your foot, it's up to you. Just try and keep your back as tall as you can. Okay, now release that foot and do the same thing on the other side. So grab, reach across to the back, keeping the back really nice and tall. Now go ahead and let that foot go. We're gonna swoop around and head into a lunge. So I'm gonna start with my right foot in front. Really make sure that that foot that's in front is bent only at a 90-degree angle, that your knee is not going past your toes, and that you're lengthening through your back leg. If you squeeze your glute muscles, you'll feel a little bit more of a stretch in your hip flexor. I'm going to put my hands on my front knee. I like to do this because it tests the strength of my front leg a little bit and my balance. Dropping my back leg now. You can turn out your front leg and then start reaching down closer to the floor. I like to alternate between straightening and relaxing my back leg. I just do whatever feels best in the stretch, so if for you like to keep it down, that's fine, or if you want to straighten it, that's fine as well. Now I'm dropping all the way down into my elbows, really getting into the stretch. If this feels like a little bit too much for you, you can go back up to your hands. Go ahead and push back up, and now you're going to reach back and grab your back foot. This should be a really good stretch on your quad and your hip flexor. Okay, release that back leg, and now I'm going to sit back onto it. Here I like to really lengthen my front leg, and sometimes I flex my foot. You'll see I point my foot and turn it in even a little bit, and I'm just trying to feel where the best stretch is for me personally, so do what feels good to you. Alright, now coming back up into a lunge. I'm going to push my back leg up. I'm just going to hang out here in this forward fold for a little bit, stretch out my hamstrings. You can bend one leg or other if that feels good to you. I'm going to shoot my other leg back so I'm in the opposite lunge on the other leg. Remember again, keep that front leg in a 90-degree angle. Really stretch through your back leg. Okay, now test your balance. Bring your hands up onto your front knee. Remember, if you squeeze through your glutes, you'll feel this a little bit more in your hip flexor. I'm going to drop down and drop my back leg. I'm going to alternate between straightening it and keeping it relaxed to the floor. And now going all the way down to my elbows. coming up now to head into our quad stretch. So reach back, grab your back foot. Going to drop that foot now and pop back onto that back leg. Depending on how much of a stretch you feel, you might be able to lean further down closer to your leg. I like to keep a flat back here. Okay, now moving back into a lunge. Hold this for just a moment. Now we're going to turn to the front. You should really feel this in your hips. I like to use the arm that's closest to my bent knee to push against it and sort of deepen the stretch. Just make sure that that knee isn't going past your toe once again. Now switch over to the other side. You can do this without hands if you want, but I was a little bit slippery in my socks, so I used my hands. Just hang out here and enjoy the stretch. You can flex that foot, point it if you want. And shift over to the other side. One more time, switch to the other side. Okay, now we're going to sit down into our straddle, so find some room. You're going to reach over to one side. We're not going to do this for very long, but just to get that side of your body warm. Now face your leg, stretch down. Really keep your turnout here, don't roll your feet in. And now reach toward the inside of your leg as far as you can. Now from here, I'm going to circle around and up, and we're going to repeat to the other side. So reach as far as you can over, stretch out that side of your body, and turn and face your leg. Now go ahead and reach toward the inside of your leg. Really make sure to keep turning out those legs. If you want to flex your feet, you can. I wasn't doing a very great job of turning out here. But now go ahead and release all the way back up and just reach forward. This is probably the hardest one to keep your turnout in. Okay, now let's walk those hands back up. Shake out your legs for just a second. We're going to move into a pigeon pose. So your front leg is bent and try to get that foot parallel to the wall. Back leg is straight. Ideally, your hips will sink all the way down to the floor, but this is a little bit of a difficult stretch for me because I had my surgery, so I'm off the floor a bit. Now go ahead and switch it, so you're going to straighten your front leg and bend the back, which is basically a jazz split. I'm going to reach forward over that front leg. Now coming up, I'm going to reach back and lean away from my legs, and you should feel this in the hip flexor of your back leg, the one that's bent. And coming up now, we're going to switch over and do the same thing on the other side. So into a pigeon pose. If you want, you don't have to stay pressed up on your hands like this. You can actually release all the way down onto your elbows to the floor. This is already enough of a stretch for me though. Relax, straighten that front leg and bend the back. Lean forward over your front leg. And now coming up, lean away from your legs, stretch out that back hip. If you don't feel it here, you can actually release your whole back to the floor. Just make sure that that back knee keeps contact with the floor. Okay, now relax, come back up. Shake it out a little bit. We're going to move into everyone's favorite part, so go ahead and get into your right split. Do whatever you need to do here to get a good stretch. If you're not all the way in your splits yet, make sure you're just straightening both legs as much as you can and holding yourself up with your hands. If you do have your split, you can lean forward over that front leg. Up, I'm going to release back just a little bit. Okay, now relax, switch over to the left side, same thing over here. Going to lean forward over that front leg. And now I'm going to release back. And that is it. Thank you guys for joining me on this stretch today. I hope you enjoyed it. It's something that I do probably 3 times a week to maintain my flexibility. Check out my other videos if you're interested, and have a lovely rest of your day.